Okay, you might want to shorten your dog a little bit. It just makes it easier, a little bit more accessible for me. It just makes it a little bit easier. So find your right arm on the outside of your left knee. So really press into the left palm. So for the next practice, for the next kriya, I guess, the right arm is going to be active. So we want to get off of it first. And feel the twist here. Maybe look underneath your left armpit and get a little twist here. And you can send the right arm down towards your ankle if you'd like. So whatever version of this twist feels good for you. And now let's bring the right arm back onto the mat. And then bring your toes together and then lean onto your right arm and your right foot. We're going to go into a side plank. So you might need to open up your dog a little bit from here. So let's come into a side plank. And you can do a knee down plank, so you can have your right knee down. So it's your version of the posture. Really press into your right hand. Feel your shoulder and your forearm active. So your fingers are pressing in. And then what I like to do is really get a nice extension and extend the arm over my ear. So it's like a standing, a plank version of what we were doing standing a minute ago. So you all look pretty happy and relaxed. We can stay here the rest of the practice. Okay, so we'll just come back and let's come up to standing plank. Right back into our center plank. And then let's bring the right knee down onto the mat and send the right arm. So let's give that a break. So extend the right arm extended in front of you and send the left leg back behind you. So we did this version in the beginning of practice. So does it feel any different? Maybe shake the wrist out like Vicky's doing. We gave it a little bit of stretch, but then we strained it. So it's always good to give a little stretch here. And now, can you reach back for your left leg with your right arm and give a little bit of a twist here? An opening, open through your right shoulder. I like this, even though I'm not really good at it. I can get you a strap. You want a strap? I'll get you a strap, man. So let's give a little opening here. And so now extend your right arm back out in front of you. Your left leg reaches out. Sorry. And now come back into go back into child's pose. So you can take a child's pose if you'd like. Sorry. Well, I kept you too long while I was grabbing for the strap, so. We don't want
outside around the building. Back in
go get a Big Mac. Go back. No, if anytime you need a child's pose, you can take it. Just yeah, that's fine. All right. So we worked on the one side. We're going to come back to that side in a minute. So when you're ready, let's press up into a downward facing dog. And so extend the right leg up and back and maybe open up that hip. So just kind of see if you can stack the right hip over the left. Just open up a little bit. It's not necessary. It just kind of feels nice. And now bring it back around and towards your right wrist. So you're planting your foot down. You're not You're not your knee, just your foot. No, we're not doing pigeon. No pigeon in this. I'm absolutely positive. No, that was my yin practice. That was my yin. So inhale, let's sweep the arms overhead. So does this feel a little bit different than our warm-ups? Maybe? A little different? Good. The key is change. That's really, really nice. So now let's press our hands back into the mat and extend the front leg straight, and then come onto your back heel as well. So bring your heel down so you can put it at a 45-degree angle or all the way perpendicular with the front of your move. So let's just kind of stretch here and find what feels good for you. So again, downward facing dog or child's pose might be good for you. So just find your version using blocks. And for this, you might even use a block. We used the block in the hot class. So maybe we can go for a block here. So let's see if we can extend our left arm to the sky into a nice little triangle. And see if we can open our body over towards the prop room. So really feel the energy in your top arm. Feel the space there. And feel your back heel pressing down, your back toes pressing down. And now twist back into forward fold over your Thank God Asana. And then if you'd like to use a block here, maybe put the block on the inside of your front foot. So that might feel good for you. And now press into the block with your left hand and then open up towards the window. So that might feel exactly what Vicky did, might actually feel really, really good for you. So sometimes to open up the shoulder, you might want to swing the arm open up like this and give some arm circles. I have a little stopping point for when I just got a cortisone shot. So really feel this version here. Feel the twist and feel the opening in the legs. Just make sure you're feeling something. And this part always feels really, really good. So come back into your forward fold over your front leg. And now let's move your hands and your feet towards the prop room. So your feet are facing the prop room. The front of your feet are facing the prop room, your hands. And find your version of this posture that feels good. So sometimes we do what they call a wide leg downward dog, so your hands are really spread out in front of you. I like this because it really opens up my lower back. Or you can extend your hands behind you and get a little bit different feeling. Or you can even feel the outside of your feet or the inside of your feet. So grab onto something. So this should feel pretty nice. I like this posture. And so now let's, without bringing your whole body over, just kind of reach over towards your back, towards your left foot. So just kind of find your back foot, and then you can wrap your left arm around your calf, around the outside of your calf. I know, Simon, no, the outside, there you go. And then just give a nice little hug, and just feel how good this feels. I like the IT band stretch here. It feels really, really kind of nice. And I feel a little bit in my calf here as well. And don't worry, we'll come back on this side and we do it all over again. So let's come back to the center with our hands. And then you can put your hands on your hips, or you can put them out to the side like airplane wings. But let's find a flat back and bring us back up to standing. So strong core brings us up into standing. And let's, wherever your hands are from here, let's extend them out to the side. And then twist your right foot towards the mirror and then bend deep. It's a nice little warrior two. So think about your knee. So really an opening. So rather than straining your actual knee, if you open a little bit out, it's actually a little bit more delicious. Yeah. And then it sometimes get a little like, stressful. Now let's bring our right arm to the outside of our knee. So it's a little bit different version of side angle than we're used to. So bring your hand on the outside of your front knee. So it's a little bit of a different side angle than you're used to. So keep your knee bending deep and using the block if you need to. I can grab it if you need. I just find this a little bit more accessible when you use a block, because that way you're not straining, you're just kind of relaxing into the openness here. Really feel the top arm has a lot of energy in it. And think about the opening here and in your shoulders. And now let's find our hands, frame your hands around your foot. And then let's come onto your back toes. And now really find the energy in your left hand as you open your right arm out to the side and up. So use your block if you would like to get a little bit deeper into the posture. So remember your breath, breathing deep. Sternum. All right, let's come into our runner's lunge here. And inhale, let's bring our arms up to the sky. Just remind ourselves, you can shorten your stance, might be good. And let's send the back knee down. She did it, yeah. All right, now let's extend the front knee straight, okay? Using your hands to help you. Let's see how closely you can wiggle your toes to the front of your mat. So avoid too much, but just find your Goldilocks version of this. So this is a half split. So really find your open here, however version of this is open for you. And if we were in hot, I bet you every single one of you would be into a full split.
No, I did this yesterday. I'm not really sure what the problem is. No problem.
And then your arms are overhead, and you're doing all these kind of eagle arms.
I think I'm just sore from all that.
Exactly, exactly. So just find your version here. I mean, even when I was in ballet, when I was like 8, I could never do a full split. Yeah, yeah. And then I like to get out of this posture by bending into the front knee. And then gently step into plank. Oh, yep, up, 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 up. And then lower into chaturanga or all the way down onto the mat. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that's not too bad. Yeah? Now we got to do the other side.
We did it already while you went to get the strap.
That's what I figured that, yeah. Okay, so let's find the energy. We're going to find the left arm reaches for the outside of the right knee. So this is where, I know, it's like a game of Twister. I was playing Simon Says in Hot this morning. I was like, no, don't do it. I didn't say Simon Says. So see if you can find a twist by opening up and finding your, looking underneath your underarm. What? You're starting to slide. No. Okay. Now let's set your left arm back onto the mat and bring your feet together and just find your version of side plank. So rolling onto your left palm, your left foot, and opening up to the window. You can set your left knee down if you'd like. So this is really good for your core, certainly, but I find the most perfect version is when I just open up my side body because I'm all compressed all the time. So you can have your arm sweeping overhead. You can do the circles. So whatever version works for you. And now let's come back into regular plank and then set your left knee down, keeping your right leg where it is, and then giving your left arm a rest, so extending it forward. And then your right leg extends back. So see if you can maybe get some traction in your spine here. This is where I pop. Just go. Mwah. So really extend, and then like what Vicky's doing, you can just kind of give your wrist a little bit of a twist. Shake it out a little bit. And then see if we can reach back for your back leg. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Sorry. It just feels good when I get a strap. I always just feel I can just get into a little bit deeper. And then let's slowly let go of the foot. Extend the arm out in front of you, the leg out, stretch. And let's come back into a plank, lower into chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. God, I'm starting to smell my sweat. It really stinks. I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh my God, I really smell. I'm sorry. I was like, God, this is really smelly. So I'm glad that I. Okay, now extend your left leg behind you and just see if you can maybe open up the hip a little bit. So just kind of see if you can stack your left hip over your right. It's not necessary, but it just kind of feels good. And then bend the left leg through and step forward. And then come up, inhale, sweep the arms overhead into a nice little lunge here. And then exhale, palms back onto the mat. And then press the front leg straight. And then plant the back heel down. So find your version of this. Just find the stretch here. So you know what comes next. So find your block if you would like. So whatever, on a block, whatever, let's open your right arm up to the sky. And really feel the opening in your top shoulder, your top arm. Again, you can do circles this way. I mean, I don't suggest you go into a bind because I don't like the bind personally. I feel all bound and, you know. Okay, now set the right arm back onto the mat and then just see if you can square your hips a little bit and then find find your block on the right side of your foot and then open up to the left. So find yourself towards the prep room. So this should feel pretty good. This twists are really, really good for, I'm not going to say it's good for digestion, because if we're always doing twists, then, well, I'm just not going to get graphic. like is everything good for digestion? Then, okay, well, sorry. TMI. All right, so let's find our hands framing the foot and just get a little bit of a stretch. See if you can get out of your lower back a little bit here. And then this time, let's turn your toes towards the window and your hands as well. Your hands come along. And then maybe this time you want to clasp your hands behind you, if that's accessible, or you can grab a strap and find the strap behind you, but just get a little bit of a shoulder opener here. Seeing if my camera's still rolling. We're still rolling, yay. Okay, sorry, I had to check. So find your version here. Is it too cold? Oh.
I wasn't going to ask you to go get the
Oh, because then you... I know, right? All right, so let's crawl your hands towards your right leg and just feel how good that feels. I just love, or you can hang out there, Jana. I just love how this feels on the outside of my leg, and still feel you're pressing into the pinky toe of your left foot as well. I just love this stretch personally. And then walk your hands back to center. And then your choice, you can put your arms out to the side or onto your hips, but find a flat back, strong core, and that brings you back up to standing. How's it feel? You all right? Doing okay? It's not bad. You're like, I've been doing this every Monday for like the past 6 weeks. So let's extend our arms out to the side. Sean's like, can somebody just shoot her? Kill her. So let's turn the left toes out towards the mirror and bend deep. Really feel the opening in the bent leg. I like a nice deep bend here.
Deborah hasn't said anything all class long.
That's because she's 10 shades of awesome. All right, so let's find our hand on the outside of your knee. So you use a block if that makes the floor much more accessible. I know it does for me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And really press into your arm with your knee. Feel the opening here. So feel the stretch in your side body. And feel maybe even the left side body opening as well here. And now finding the right arm back to center and then switch so you can move your block over. So funny, all the yoga songs sound the same after a while, don't they? My Prince one was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, especially when I did that in hot, I was like, oh my gosh. They're playing 1999 and 108-degree temperatures. I'm like, what is this all about? Okay, so let's find the extended arm back onto the mat. And let's do a nice little standing crescent lunge here. Maybe do a little bit of a back bend. Make sure your back leg has a nice little hip opener there. And now let's bring the back knee down. Send the hands down. And take a few moments to find your foot in the right position to give you a nice little hamstring stretch. Sometimes this is where you feel some of your tightness. So if your knee isn't totally bent, that's cool. Sometimes you might actually feel it extending. I know I feel this through here. See what happens when you bend your toes, put your toes on. Do you feel a little bit different there? And then if you do it here, it's a little bit different. So depending upon the place of your foot can give you a different stretch. So Vicki and Deborah's got their toes on the mat. So that's a different stretch, and it feels just nice too. And then what happens when you have your foot off the mat? So it's a different, so whatever feels best for you, just kind of sit into this posture. And now let's slowly bend into the front knee and just find your way into a plank. And then lower into a chaturanga or all the way to the mat. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just shake that out here. And let's come back onto our knees and lower ourselves all the way onto the mat with your chest. So lower ourselves all the way onto the mat, chest onto the mat, and just take a little break here. Not too long of a break. How come? All right. So let's extend your arms out like airplane wings. We're going to do a little bit of a locust. So we've done some cobras. We've done a lot of cobras. So now it's a chance to give a little bit of cobra in your legs. So try to bring your legs a little closer together if you'd like. And now let's bring your chest off the mat, your legs off the mat, and your hands off the mat into a locust here. Fly, Superman. Which Superman do we like? I like the new one's kind of hot. Sorry, that was a little inappropriate. But, yeah, there's a new Superman, and he battles Ben Affleck, apparently. Or I'm sorry, is Ben Affleck Daredevil, or is he Batman? So which version of Batman do you like? Well, I don't know. Okay, so now from here, without putting everything down, let's see if you can reach back for your feet. Maybe the outside of your feet. Oh, yeah. And then let's press our chest up a little higher. And then press into your feet. Press into your hands. And really extend here. Breathe. And now, without putting anything down, let's release the grip on your your feet, and then extend your arms into another locust from here. So see if you can, and then maybe you can extend your hands in front of you. Oh my God. And then if you're really trying hard, you're shaking like crazy. And now release, relax. Why did I do this? At least you're not smelling the sweat that I'm smelling, so. I'm so esoteric in my yoga classes, aren't I? She's so gentle. She's so spiritual. Yeah, let's wait till you go to my yoga class. Okay, so very, very gently, let's come on to our hands and knees. And let's find that posture we had before. So find your block, if that's what makes it delicious for you. But your hips might actually be a little bit more open now. Maybe. Hopefully. And then let's see if you can just kind of hang out here, a little bit of a hip stretch, and then maybe go back a little bit further. For me, I don't like to go onto my elbows. I actually like to keep my hands out to the side and allow my shoulders to open. So that way it's not like a hands and then elbows. It's just a little out. So it's a little subtle, and then you can crawl your fingers out a little bit wider. And really press into your knees enough so you're getting a hip stretch, but not you're straining your knees. If you're straining your knees, you're probably a little bit too far into the posture. So find your version of the posture that feels good for you. And sometimes it might just be sitting up and being mindful and being happy by not jamming yourself into the posture, but just allowing the posture to be what it needs to be for you. And now from here, slowly. Oh, you're just happy in this posture, right?
Well, my hair, things on my head, and the box can get.
I know.
Okay.
So now you're good. You can just hang out there, and we'll move on.
Ponytail placement is essential.
You know, I'm telling you, and especially for me to go into Shavasana, it's like, I'm just done.
Are we done?
Third word. What do we call it? First world problems? Yeah. So let's slowly come on out of this posture. People dying and starving, and it's like, my ponytail is just not right. It ruined my yoga class.